I'm blind. Good day, people. It's very windy again, of course. We're in Oklahoma City, so we bounced all the way to Oklahoma from Midland, Texas. Yeah, it was a long one, but that's okay. Chase the freight. There ain't nothing better than this fragile freight. So here's what we got. I just show you what I got before I throw the devil's blanket on top there. You know what that is, the tarp, the devil's blanket. This one, made me work for it a little bit. This long stuff is the pain in the butt stuff, because you always got to think about it, and then I got a little bit hanging off at the end, but we should be okay. So yeah, not very heavy, 30,000 pounds or whatever, but paying pretty good. So here's what we got. Straps over, under, oh the wind. So here we got straps over and under the crates and over the other ones, and then I got straps just on these, pulling them towards the pipe pins, and then I got straps over top pulling it that way. So these silver bullets won't go nowhere. And another thing, so in this whole new 2023 going with percentage, I'm changing my whole way of running as well. For most of my trucking life, I've been drilled into me to save fuel and watch your fuel economy and do this and do that. And the company I work with, they've got some older guys. Every company has a runner, right? Every company's got their stud, right? Well, the stud here, he's an older fella, been doing this for a long time. He don't give two flying F's about fuel mileage. His philosophy, and I've been able to sit down and have breakfast with him and pick his brain, because if you want to be, how can I say this? If you want to get to a certain point in this kind of business, you want to take advice from the people who are in your mind successful in this business, who you perceive. So just like if you're getting money advice, why would you take money advice from a guy who's got less than you do? Maybe he's a minimalist, I don't know. But you should always take money advice from somebody who's living a lifestyle that you want. I've always just kind of thought of that, so that's how I kind of think about it. But, so one day when I have money, I'll take their advice. Anyway, okay. So Dave's philosophy is, if I get more loads in a year, and yeah, I try and save money here and there, not by idling and all that stuff, but if I run the hell out of my truck, so he runs the speed limit. If the speed limit's 75, he runs 75. If it's 65, he runs 65. If it's 80, he runs 80. His truck can do that. I said, Dave, aren't you scared of this fuel going up the stacks? He says, nope. Because I know if I burn more fuel, it's just the cost of doing business. If I burnt a lot of fuel in a month, that means I've done a lot of work in that month, so I've made a lot of money in that month. And Dave has made a lot of money. Dave does very well. So I'm taking, I'm going to take a little bit of Dave's philosophy on it, and I've decided when it comes down to it, I've opened up the truck. So I took the parameter. Last time I was home, I stopped in. Mechanic hooks up to it. Takes the parameters. I had it governed at 65 when I had drivers on it. And I ran all last year's governed at 65. Stuck behind those guys that run 63 because you can't pass them. You know, all that sort of stuff. This year, I opened her up. It's governed at 95. She won't go 95. It'll go 95, but I'm not going to take it 90. You know what I mean. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to channel our inner Dave a couple times, and I actually just used it on the trip down. If you go back to my older videos, or if you don't know, Wednesday I left Calgary, Alberta after loading in the morning, and I was down in Midland, Texas Friday afternoon, 2 o'clock, and I got all my deliveries off. And then I started. Then I was on my way to OKC. I started heading that way. So I opened it up in Montana and Wyoming. Colorado, you kind of can't because the roads are so bad, construction's so bad. And then south of Colorado is just a 2-lane highway, all the way to Midland. So just doing that, opening it up in Montana and Wyoming, I was able to, I'd have to look at it, I think I saved myself like 2 hours of time. And you know, time is a big deal. And I always said, you know, these ELDs, all they do is promote speeding. That's all they do. You know, you're gonna, the clock's always running, so the guy's gotta put on the afterburners and he's gotta go if he wants to make any kind of money or be any kind of successful. So hey, plus last year was my first year ever using an E-log. Not speeding, so I was able to do on mileage. Last year I did 75 trips, so 75 loads between Canada and the US. So 75 is just a load down or a load back, so 75 of them, not around it, because sometimes a trip to South Dakota or something and then back, short ones too, right? So 75. Dave did 80. So Dave only did 5 more loads than I did, and I busted my butt. And he only did 5 more loads than me. 5 more trip numbers. And Dave blew me out of the water in revenue. Like, blew me out of the water. Not even close. So try and look through Dave's glasses for a little bit anyway, see how I like it. My truck's not geared for US running. It's not geared for high speeds like that. But once in a while, sacrifice a little fuel to, so there you go. I sacrificed some fuel to get in there Friday and get unloaded, so I didn't have to wait till Monday to unload. You know what I mean? So I was able to get in there and get unloaded, and then also I was able to get back into OKC to get loaded, and now I'm gone. It's Saturday. I'm heading north, which never would have happened if I was running just 65, right, or less. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So there you go. Now you got an idea of kind of how we're doing it. You've seen a couple of loads. You've seen unloading, a couple of loading. This one in particular, I got 4 drops in, like I told you, in Nisku and in Edmonton. So I'm going to drop the 2 in Nisku. They're on the back. Under the tarp are the ones in Edmonton. I might open it up and try to get there and maybe get Nisku's off Monday afternoon. But that's going to be pretty tough because I'm getting away here pretty late on Saturday because it's 7 hours from Midland to Oklahoma City. So yeah, that's a lot of running empty, but hey, cost of doing business too. I'm not too worried about the empty miles. I'm not, you know, what is it? I don't even think I spent, just look at it this way, okay? Everybody's concerned about empty miles, empty miles. No, you can't run all that way. Well, I don't even think it cost me $250 in fuel. I don't even think it cost me that much. I had both axles up, running a one axle back there. I ran 65. I don't even think it was 250. In between 200 and 250 bucks. So I spent 200 to 250 bucks to come and get a very good paying load and not sit around. You got to do that. It's a different age. You got to go. You got to go. Don't complain that the rates are no good. Don't complain about running empty. Don't complain about tarpon, the devil's blanket. Just do it. You do the stuff nobody wants to do, and you'll have money coming out of your pockets eventually. That's all I got to say about that. Let's go look at the tarp job. Ah, those are some dirty wheels. Yeah, the whole truck is just filthy. All that Wyoming stuff. So here's the tarp. Let's just say that was not fun putting that on in the wind there. So yeah, we got two different spots. The silver bullets go to one spot, the crates go to another, and then all these guys under here up into Edmonton. So this is it. This is it. Look at how dirty that is. I want to get her cleaned up so I can take a look at this bumper a little better. Alright, that's it for now. Gonna make some miles and see what we can do. Hope everybody had a good weekend. We'll chat later. Bye for now. One more thing. Sorry I got the ugly lights on. Thanks to Mr. Sun. You can turn it down just a little, my friend. No, don't you bother. The giver of life, you just keep shining as bright as you can. One more thing. There was a guy on that TV show shipping stuff. Shipping Wars. Way back when it started, he had a ponytail, he was an older guy, he was gruff, and he ran a hotshot truck, and he always had his cat with him. He was my favorite. Because he didn't bullshit. No bullshitting, right? And his saying that stuck with me for the longest time, and it rings true in everything. Don't let a nickel hold up $1. Know what that means? So don't worry about saving a nickel if it's going to prevent you from making $1. It's just common sense. So don't let the nickels hold up from you making the dollars.